comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. Vixen and all his reindeers pulling on the reins. Bells are ringing, children singing, all is merry and bright. So hang your stockings and say your prayers, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight. Here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. He's got a bag that's filled with toys for boys and girls again. Hear those sleigh bells jingle, jangle, oh, what a beautiful sight. So jump in bed and cover your head, 'cause Santa Claus comes tonight.
Good evening, everyone. We are here watching the D6 race in Snetterton. I am joined in the booth with Jerry.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And then we got a special guest today. We got Selena Boonstra with us.
What's up? Hello.
You excited to be here tonight?
Yeah, first time commentating on like literally anything, so it'll be pretty exciting.
Yeah. Well, let's roll in here and start looking at qualifying.
I didn't know it was your first time commentating anything. I thought you had some experience. I mean, you seem to have a knack for doing it already. So, I mean, it's good to get some under your belt, though, and we'll need to get you that commentator role here one of these days.
Yeah, one of these days. Yeah, I did do a little bit during the 8 hours when Doug pulled me and like John Donahue in. It was interesting times, I must say.
Yeah, well, don't sell yourself short. You've had experience, you know?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That counts.
Yeah.
That counts.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, it's good to be here, man. And yeah, we're going to be right into qualifying D6. Keep in mind that these drivers will have the full 20 minutes to qualify and improve their times. And this is the division that is known to be super, super clean and not have very many lap incidents, if any. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to bring here today. Who's going to take the top?
Yeah, it has been a close battle up front. I know that these drivers have been improving week in and week out. This is going to be obviously a very challenging track. Not as open as some of the other tracks we've been on. Very tight tarmac. So we'll see how they do with that today.
Yeah, I feel like too the two right-handers, sharp right-handers, are kind of difficult because they're right after long sweeping turns. So, kind of braking, under turning, or trying to find that braking point without spinning out is kind of difficult to do, depending on setup. Instead of just a straight braking zone that we see in a lot of tracks.
I will bring up the track map here since we are talking a little bit more about the track. This course, Snetterton, located in Norfolk, England. It's 2.969 miles. This circuit layout is also referred to as Snetterton 300. 12 turns. There's obviously going to be some tricky ones here. Selena, where do you see these drivers really battling and or struggling today?
I'd probably say turn 12 would be quite the challenge. Lots of overtake, especially wrong division, but D4, I know turn 12 was quite really ambush on that turn.
We'll call it chaotic.
Yeah, it was very chaotic. So I'd say that, but overtakes, I'd say like turn 4, people would overshoot that pretty well.
I definitely would agree. I see turn 8 and into 9 being a very challenging one for a lot of these drivers. D6, like we've been saying the past weeks, is one of our learning divisions. These are people that are very early on in their sim racing careers, just trying to get a handle of things, and turns 8 and 9 are some of the hardest in the world, as some people say, because it's a lot of trail braking and quick turns into that long straight, or not long straight, short straight after that. So let's get back into looking at qualifying. Sorry, I cut you off, Jerry.
Oh no, you're good. I wasn't going to say anything important. I was just going to comment on Fari Henry, one of our leaders from last race, taking the best lap with a 151. But right now, that's just the early laps coming in. Drivers are going to be able to prove their times coming in here.
Yeah. Interesting that you did mention him as well. He is currently leading the driver standings, and his team Intergalactic is currently in front of the team series as well. So he's been showing some strong results. Last week taking home P1. That was his first one of the season. And then his teammate Calvi right behind him with 27 points down. And then in P3, Ruda is tied with McAllister at 47.
Nice. Well, that performance, I feel, is only going to continue here. And yeah, their team is in a really good place because he's with Calvi, you said, right?
Yes.
I think both of them finished very near the top last race. Is that correct?
It was a P1-2 for them. So
yeah, P1-2.
Very good
so I mean,
standing.
Really strong. We're looking at Calvi right now. Currently hasn't set a lap yet, but still has a lot of time to do that. And we'll kind of see where they place here. Just as we see Last Rise taking the best spot by just a couple tenths there from Henry. Yeah, we'll kind of see. I think Henry's going to be able to take that back, though, as he is on a valid lap and up by about 4 tenths.
Where is he? He's coming up onto turn 4 here, going into 5 and 6. So, who do you guys have your eyes on for the race today? I know it's a little early in the qualifying to really be saying it, but looking at all the practice these guys have put in over this week as well, what are you thinking here?
I'd say Fari.
That's a strong horse to bet on there.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jerry. Sorry I cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good. No, I mean, I agree with you. Definitely Fari is looking like a formidable opponent right now. Castro was one that was leading for a good bit on that on last race. He has good pace, was able to make up a couple of positions after he lost them due to a couple penalties. I think Castro could have definitely a spot for contending for podium. I'm hoping my buddy Nate Allen is able to hit podium, but I'm not sure. There's a tendency to kind of wreck it mid-race a little bit. But hey, man, I'm sending you good vibes, all right? So better not mess it up. Always good vibes. Always. Yep.
I know that you did mention that he does have a tendency to have a little incident. Hopefully he stays away from his teammate Soik today. I know we've brought up Indy last week.
Yeah, that's right. They always battle each other. It's like a running gag now, pretty much. Because at Indianapolis, they were trading positions back and forth, and even caused a little bit of an incident with the other ones. So they got a little bit of friendly battle. And looking right now, the qualifying, they are currently qualifying next to each other. So they're going to start the race next to each other if it stays like this. But we'll see. Right now, they're both emptying on their lap. So we'll kind of see as the positions kind of come in here in the laps further on in the qualifying.
I know we did also mention it. They have the full 20 minutes. Is there a little bit of a strategy that you guys think that they're going to play into here? You maybe taking a lighter load, going back into the pits, sitting for a little bit, coming back out, throwing another couple hot laps in, or you feel 20 minutes and go?
There might be some drivers doing that. I'm not really sure. I don't see anybody in the pits right now, but if I were these drivers, I would just throw your 20 minutes worth of fuel in, and I would just keep those tires warmed up to race speeds and just do as many laps and try and keep improving as much as you can. Because you got to think about it. If you go to the pits, and then change your things, an out lap, that takes time. So I would just try and improve with that full fuel. Or not in full fuel, but 20 minutes worth of fuel there, if I were these drivers. But we'll kind of see what they opt to do here.
Look on board here. Calvi's actually up almost half a second coming down this Bentley straight here. This is, like I said, the tough corner to get right, but once you get it right, you can gain a lot of time out of it.
Oh, it looks like he got it right there.
Yeah, it looks like maybe did, but going into turn 9,
he did, but he lost a lot of his time there from a little bit of a wheel spin there. But yeah, he just needs about a half a second to be able to jump up next to his teammate Henry, who's now taken the first place on qualifying back from the last rise with a 150.265.
Last rise also on a good lap, ups almost 2/10 going through that first hairpin, but looks like he did lose it. I'm on a roll today with the commentator's curse of going to somebody as they're on a hot lap and they start
Hey
losing
man,
it.
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, commentator's curse. Always
Yep.
a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. And me too. I just went to a view. I didn't even commentate on the guy. I literally just looked at him. My buddy Luke, who was having a tough time wet the other week there, he now seems to have mainly fixed his setup, but had a little bit of a spin there. He was doing really, really good staying on the track there, but had a little bit of a spin. Is now gone back to pits to try and change his setup there. He does have 8 minutes left for, at least one out lap and then a couple qualifying laps there. We'll see if he's able to set a time that's better than his current one.
It's definitely already better than last week, I will say, because I know last week
major improvement.
It was the wet got to him and he was having some fun in the infield.
Yep. Yeah, on the Ferrari, usually you do run no TC just because, no TC2, because TC2 is how much power your engine cuts when TC is enabled. But with the Ferrari, even with it off, it does cut out some. But I think in the wet, it was just too low for that driver. So he now has that on TC2-1, which I think in the dry, just kind of having that extra little bit would probably help him stay on track. May not be as fast as the fastest drivers, but hey, you gain a lot of time if you don't spin out and hit the wall. So,
very true. While you were saying that, the last rise actually did put in a lap, and we have our first under 50 time with a 149.932. So
yeah, I did notice that as well.
Very good lap.
Yeah, for sure, and already improving on their next lap here by about a 10th. Now, if you're Henry, you got to be thinking, you're like, okay, am I able to beat this right now? You're doing better in Sector 1 than him. So right now you got Sector 1 down by just a little bit. Just trying to improve in Sector 3 is where I would do, because you're down by about a half a second. About a half a second in Sector 3 if you're Henry. That's where you're going to find your time.
I definitely agree. Henry's in the McLaren. He can easily find some time there if he gets the coasting right. I know the McLaren loves these medium to high speed corners. It just seems to hug the line a lot better than some of these other cars.
Oh yeah.
I think, Selena, you're actually in the McLaren.
Yeah.
Comment about your experience on this track with it?
I'd say it can be quite iffy on like that long, I don't know what the turn is called, but like that long uphill turn on the back straight. For me, it was quite iffy. Like it was, the rear started to stick out, and then far down from there on that, like, I don't know what turn that's called either, but it's pretty skimpy there, but I'd say like the rest of the track, it's pretty good. It grips pretty good. It handles pretty good. It's not too bad. Good gripper.
Yeah, I've heard only good things about the McLaren, just being a really stable car there.
Oh yeah,
it does have some issues with curbing sometimes, but just it's good stats all around as far as performance for beginner drivers and experienced drivers alike. And that's one of the reasons next season I think I might actually pick up the McLaren for my car of choice.
Yeah.
Because currently I'm driving in the Porsche, and it's fun because I love Porsches. I'm a Porsche fanboy.
Oh yeah.
But it's difficult to kind of get down because your lines are going to be different because of how the car handles. You got a rear engine, so it likes to swing out. So there's just a lot of things working against me. So I think I might switch it up. And McLaren is one of my top choices on my mind so far. So.
We looking on board here with May. His had a good run up until he hit turn 10 there, and kind of the famous corner bomb hole, the commentator, the friendly name for it. Hit that and lost the back end and went through the grass. Hopefully,
is that kind of sweeping one that you take in third gear a little bit before you get to that?
Yeah, it dips down and dips back up.
Long.
Yeah, that one's a tricky
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
if you
it
hit that
is.
curve just the wrong way, it will throw you off.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, I think it feels pretty good to take it right though, because when you take it right and you get out of that corner into the long sweeping right-hander, you know, it just feels good.
Yes, definitely agree. You got a lot of these corners is all about patience here.
Yes.
You want to get on that power and just go, but a lot of these turns are a lot of late apex turns where you need to just hold on it. If you get on it too early, you are going wide, and this track does not have good runoff areas. I know that the dirt, you cannot stop on it. You'll be driving for a mile and a half, it feels like.
Yeah, the grass is not forgiving on this, and definitely need to practice braking. Braking is what this track is about.
Mm-hmm.
See here,
taking a look over here, it doesn't look like, I don't think Henry is going to be able to, he's improving his pace, but not consistently enough. I don't think he'll be able to take the top spot from the last rise over here.
He's off track a little bit, but he's a little slacking, but at least P2's not, it's pretty good. It's up there.
Yeah. He's got this last sector to really make up all this time. I know, Jerry, you did mention it earlier. He's got about half a second to find to really put pressure on the last rise. So hopefully he can find it through here, going through it now.
Looks like he had a little bit of a spin there, through at the back end. That is unfortunate. Out by almost a second now. He does have, I think, like 2 more. He's coming up on the wide-hander turn. I think he's going to have another 2 laps if he's able to cross the finish line here pretty quick. Yeah, he's going to have another 2 laps of qualifying. I think it's possible to do it. He just needs to find that time in the third sector, perfect his craft, and really just kind of nail that long sweeper home. And I think he'll be able to do it. I mean, there's a 50-50, I think.
He's got potential, so I think, got full faith he can do it. He's right there. He's pretty close to, I'm going to butcher his name, Lestrice. I'm so sorry if I butcher your name, Lestrice.
The first name is and it's pronounced The Last Rise.
Ah, The Last Rise. All right. Okay.
Yeah, don't worry, we've all done it so far.
Everybody was like, Latrice.
Yeah. Latrice. Yeah.
I definitely am there with you as far as that last name, and I am the butcherer of pronunciation. So yeah, it's The Last Rise. So
The Last Rise. Yeah.
Yep. No worries on that. No worries at all. So yeah, now we're seeing Fari here up by just a 10th. Has not hit sector 3 yet, where he can improve the most. So I'm thinking this is the lap where if he's gonna do it, it's gonna be this lap right here. Just keep an eye on him here. A lot of other people are just in the pits at this point.
Yeah.
They're just like, I'm done. I'm already done. I'm out of fuel, or I can't improve anymore. But Fari is not giving up here. Last rise goes off a little bit into the dirt there. Goes back to the pits.
He's gaining time. Yeah.
Only Fari is out.
All eyes on him. Commentators and all the other racers.
It's not enough, though.
You can do it,
He's only up by a 10th right now.
Well, he finds a 10th here.
He lost a bit of time there.
Well, he's got one more lap right now because he's going to cross the finish line before the qualifying ends. Qualifying's got 20 more seconds. All other drivers are in the pits right now. This is the only lap that matters. Right now, all
or
eyes are on
nothing.
him. Yeah. So far, so good going to the turn 2 here.
Oh, he's gaining some time. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, right now, like, even to the amount of time, he's only losing a tenth of time to the last rise in front in Sector 1. And then in Sector 2, he's actually ahead. So really, Sector 3 is what's going to matter unless he makes a lot of errors here. And it looks like he kind of did because he's now down. Yeah, he's now down, yeah, like a whole 2/10 right there. So he's going to have to make up a lot in Sector 2 and 3 here.
I think it's a lot of having to do with he's feeling that pressure of trying to get that top spot, and he's trying to break later than he normally is, so it's causing him to swing wide or...
What happened there?
Oh.
Looked like he got on the power a little too early there and lost the back end.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
And it looks like he just invalidates right there. So yeah, that's going to be qualifying right there. We're going to go to the next session here. We're going to go to the race. It looks like the last rise is going to take P1, but Henry and his teammate Calvi are within the top 5. So as far as teams go here, Henry is good, and is Castro and Gaskin, are they on the same team as well?
I will have to look that up real quick. I have
They're
it right
both
here in front of me.
McLarens, so I have a feeling they are.
Gaskin is on his own team right now.
Oh.
So it looks like they just either had teammates that got moved up and they just never partnered back up, or they decided,
Okay.
you know, I'm going to try to run it solo.
All right, well, we have 2 solo McLaren drivers then that are in P3 and P4. And then Luke, Rosa, Soik, Allen. Soik and Allen qualified next to each other, so we're going to see them start out next to each other. And then Smith, McAllister, and finally May. So they are lining up here in formation, getting their setups right. Keep in mind it's going to be a little bit later in the day than qualifying was, so the temps are going to be affected just a little bit. And to qualifying temps, you're going to want them to get up to temp faster, whereas with race tires, you want them to be able to last longer. So drivers are just making the finishing touches, and we're going to start here in about a minute.
Yeah, and we're going to definitely see if turn 1 is going to stay clean for these drivers. There's only been 1 lap 1 incident so far this season, and that was at Indy. So hopefully they can keep it clean.
Yeah, this is the division of clean racing. That's what we like to see here at SRA. And yeah, I'm hoping that there's going to be very little, if any, lap 1 incidents. And it's going to be easier for them too, just because there are only 12 drivers on the grid. So just less traffic to get through there. That's definitely helping them out.
Yeah. Also, just looking down the order, I know that you've touched on the teams a little bit. Intergalactic, like we said, that is Fari and Calvi solely in that first place spot, and if they keep up these strong results, they're gonna take it. Then we got Nate Allen and Tim Soik in worst case scenario, only 188 points back. So they need to, if they want to challenge these 2 drivers in the McLaren, they need to get some good results. So hopefully they stay out of trouble today and move up the field. And then in third, we got the Honda team of Element Racing team of Papadopoulos and Compton, sitting 224 points back.
Well, neither of them are in this race, actually. So they are going to be, I'm not sure if they're just using this for their drop race or not. But neither of them are going to be scoring in this race.
That is what we like to say. You hate to see it.
You
Yep.
truly do hate to see that.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Well, now the drivers are off on their formation lap, going in single file, lining up like kindergarten class. And we're going to see them kind of warming up their brakes here and getting their tires up to temp.
Well, while they're on that, I'll kind of take you guys on a little history lesson of Snetterton here. So, this track that we're currently on, back in 2011, that's when they kind of remodeled everything, and we're on obviously the track they are now, the Snetterton 300. There's also a 200 variation, which cuts out this infield section that you see that we're on right now, and then a 100 version, which is solely the infields. That's typically turns 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. But fun thing though is they did name all of the corners and all of the straights, kept a couple of original names from when it first started getting names. So turn 1 is Riches. He actually is the original owner of this land. Way back in 1953, they decided to keep him involved in the naming process, which is nice. Turn 2, that first hairpin, is Montreal. They actually modeled that completely after the Canadian GP circuit in Montreal, so pay homage to that. They decided to stay with that. Turn 3 is Palmer. Now, this is where some people say, oh, it's named after Jolyon Palmer, the F1 driver, or Jonathan Palmer, who is actually the owner of the track currently. Turn 4, I'm going to completely butcher it because it's a very Italian name. Agostini, he's a Italian driver that has won a lot of races here in MotoGP.
Is it Augustine?
Maybe.
Maybe. You know what? We're just going to go with Agostini.
Yeah.
Sounds better.
Just let it slide.
Just let it slide off the tongue.
Turn 5
in
is
that corner.
Hamilton, obviously, of Lewis Hamilton. 6 is Ogies, which is the co-founder of the track with Palmer. Turn 7 is Williams, obviously the famous Frank Williams. And then you got Bentley Straight. They use the track a lot, so they wanted to pay homage to a English team and name it after them. Brundle, which is turn 8. If you watch F1, it is Martin Brundle that it's named after. And then Nelson, not PK Nelson, but a British admiral. But I will continue this history lesson at another time.
Let's save some of those names there, that interesting stuff, for a little bit later. Maybe you can just sprinkle it in through the race there, where we look at a crash on a corner or good overtake on a corner. But yeah, they are going to be in their double formation, lining up here to start the race.
About to go green.
Yeah, I was
like
going to say. He was a little far ahead.
It was very, very ahead, so it suffered a penalty here of pit lane stop-go. I think it was stop-go. Is that right?
No, it's drive-through right now.
Drive-through, sorry. I don't have it up for some reason I can't. Oh, there we go. Yep, it's a drive-through. Okay. And we're going to see him immediately be overtaken by Henry going into turn 3 here.
Yeah, I was just going down the field here looking through turns 1 and 2, but it was a very clean 1 and 2. Just drivers giving a lot of space and respecting each other's time and effort that they put in.
No incidents so far. Everybody pretty close and just kind of making passes and whatnot here and there. Alan getting the better one of his teammate Soik and taking that position. And May passing McAllister at the back of the pack as well.
I definitely foresee these first few laps of a lot of these drivers kind of feeling out where the car in front of them is going to brake and eyeing up some moves, trying to be patient on it, especially like you said. Oh, as we see, Luke had an incident actually.
Oh, did I call it or did I call it?
Yeah.
Oh no, that was Alan that was calling it. No, Luke I think struggles a little bit with the T sometimes, but
yeah,
I think he'll make it back. I think he's gonna end middle of the pack. I can see him getting P7, P8. So, looks like a little bit of an incident there. Gaskin going off the track, and I think Last had a little bit of a oopsie as well. Let's take a look back at what happened with Gaskin there. We're gonna go back 15 seconds. It looks like he just had a little bit of a slide, a little bit of oversteer, and opted to get off the track very, very quickly off the racing line. Very smart move from Gaskin there, but that will put him firmly in P12.
Yeah, that like we said, that turn 10 there, bomb hole. If you don't take it right, you will start to lose the back end.
Oh no, it looks like Rosa went off as well. Is going to join Gaskin at the back of the pack. Let's kind of see what happened there. If it was an incident. No, it looks like just a little bit of understeer and decides to eat the grass a little bit, go a little bit of mowing. But does wait and does the safe rejoin there, so that's really, really good.
Soik and McAllister looks like they came together as well, going into turn 3 here.
Yeah, let's take a look at that. They're going side by side going in that corner here on the replay. And it looks like one's just understeered a little bit and just clipped them a little bit there. But nothing too bad, no major spins. So that's good. Looking at the front of the pack, we're going to see the Last Rise drop from P1 qualifying. Now it's to P4. So I'm not sure if they just got a really lucky qualifying lap, but it looks like the pace of Henry, Calvi, and Castro are just a little bit better than the Last Rise, but definitely can definitely get their game on here once their tires get heated up and they get more into the race mindset.
Yeah, it looks like Henry has already pulled out around a 3-second gap, and this is just the second lap of the race.
That's crazy.
So we will see what happens this race, if he's going to continue to grow it, if he keeps it clean, or if Castro's going to come back at him here.
I feel like Castro was our other top contender the other day, so as long as Castro doesn't get any pit lane penalties like last race, I feel like it could be a contender. If Henry does, oh my gosh!
Oh, yellow for far.
In the middle of the, drives forward.
Oh no!
Oh!
In the racing line. That's kind of a
What
tough
happened
situation
here?
to be in. You want to get off the racing line, and just as I say it, Henry drops to P5, and Calvi just is like, "Hey, I'll take that position with the Last Rise and Castro not far behind." Now the podium looks a lot more interesting than it did 15 seconds ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that is a very good learning opportunity too. Just, you want to get going, lose as little time as you want, but being too eager, you kind of might have pulled into someone else's line because they see where you are. So just holding the brakes there a little bit longer might have been a little beneficial to some people.
Yeah, don't want to run anybody off the track and ruin their race. But that just kind of to show like how important consistency is, because he can have that 3-second gap, but as soon as he makes an error and spins, that's not just a couple seconds, that's a couple positions.
Yeah.
So
as we see here, Castro on the Last Rise, Castro gets a nice clean pass on that on the Bentley straight before going into turns 8 and 9 there.
Yeah, that's one of those straights where if you have that exit is so important to get that speed coming out of that corner. And it looks like Cash just had that speed. Calvi now built an over 1 second gap just due to a little bit of passing there. But Castro and the Last Rise are still battling it out for P2. Looks like May has a little bit of an incident near the middle of the pack there. Let's take a look back and see what happened. Oh, it looks like it was that one corner with dip there, the commentator's killer corner.
Yeah, he is not the biggest fan of that one right now. And
yeah.
Last Rise is actually going through his drive-through right now, so we'll see where that ends up putting him on. It's probably going to put him at the back of the pack, so he's going to have
that's going to put him at the last there right now.
A lot of traffic to get through if he wants to get back up to that podium spot.
That is unfortunate. Starting in P1 with a great qualifying, but just not really looking at that starting position there. He was way ahead of the grid when starting, and now that has brought him from P1 all the way down to P12. You hate to see it.
Yep, you hate to see it. Another one of those things where you just hate to see it.
We haven't touched on it yet, though, but Jerry, you want to explain what's special about this week?
Selena is here, and that's pretty great.
The 40-minute pit window, actually.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not important. Just kidding. No, no.
Glad to be here.
We do have a 40-minute pit window, so that means that after the first 10 minutes of the race, the pit window will open for the mandatory 1 liter of fuel for drivers if they opt to pit early. It really helps for turn 1 or lap 1 incidents where you have a lot of early damage and it's going to affect your race. And then it's going to close the 10 minutes before the race ends. So, a lot of strategy that kind of goes into that. And I think we're just going to have that driver, the Last Rise, just kind of miss that, because you do only have like 3 laps to complete your drive-through penalties. That would have been way better if he would have been able to serve his drive-through pitting. I'm not sure if that works. I don't think it does actually. So
I don't
disregard
think it
that.
does,
But
but
yeah, I don't think that
stopped
works.
for
I think that's a
2 minutes
penalty
now.
there. Yeah.
2 minutes stopped in the pit lane. I wonder what's going on here.
I wonder if. Yeah, I think they've just called it quits at this point.
That's tough.
Or maybe they accidentally like took tires and everything.
But he's
I'm
still
not
sitting there
sure.
stopped.
Yeah, I think they've called it quits today. They went from P1 to P12 and they're like, all right, we're done. So.
He was close, calling P1, but one of those things.
It happens.
Yep.
Happens to all of us. I know
Yep.
that. So
You know what
maybe
we
just-
like to say? You truly do, indeed, hate to see
Hate
that.
to see it. Yep, exactly.
As the SRA commentator handbook would say, use this phrase all the time.
Yep.
In
I
fact,
think
that
that's
book
just
is entirely made up.
E6 commentator thing. That's our thing, right? Nobody
It
else
might
does
be.
that. It's just us.
I'm gonna say it's us. We're the special
Yeah.
ones out of everybody.
Yeah, we have now copyrighted it. So
It's now on the
any
book.
other division commentators using that phrase, you can expect to hear from my lawyer.
Okay. I will make sure we get that stamped. We'll call Waleed up and after he gets
Yep.
out of school. And
Yep,
see if we
Sounds,
can
claim
sounds
sign
it.
good. I'll talk
yeah.
to Jess about it. So, Jess, if you're watching this back right now, know this is an official binding contract and is non-negotiable.
As we jump on board here to Gaskin, he's been putting a lot of pressure on Smith here. Been keeping up with him, kept it nice. As I say it,
shoot!
there
Little
it
bit of
is.
commentator's curse there.
Oh.
That is unfortunate, and throwing it back 30 seconds ago, you hate to see it.
Yep.
Sir,
Oh.
do you see exactly what happened there?
Yeah, he just decided to go a little wide, touch the grass a little bit, and once he touched the grass, it decides to pull your car a little bit more onto it.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Alright, the pit window is going to be open. Now drivers can pit for their 1 liter fuel, and we're going to look at a battle between the back here. Look between Rosa and May, battling for P11, or sorry, P10 right now. They're going side by side through multiple of these corners right here. Very, very clean racing. Let's take a look.
Oh,
Looks like
Rosa
Rosa
just
is-
took that right
Yeah.
ahead of him.
That is a
Got a
tough corner
nice-
to try to pass on, too.
Yeah, it is. Will he keep it? Looks like it.
That was
But
a very, very
May,
wide
he's
turn.
got a little window, but question is, can he keep it going?
Can he
I
keep
think it's
it
one of
going?
those things where May was following Rosa's line a little bit. He went a little deep, and he's like, I'll follow that," and ended up going a little deep
Yeah.
himself.
Wait a second, this wasn't right.
Yeah.
This wasn't the plan.
Oh,
As he gets a
Rosa
good
having
run going
little
on the Bentley
mistake.
straight.
Oh,
Oh, he's a little far.
They're neck and neck right now into
Oh.
this tough, tight turn.
Oh, what a pass right
that
there.
was-
Rosa
Good
off
on-
to back out.
yes. Well,
Crazy.
we'll see if he can keep following here. Get some good battles, but let's join Luke up here. Actually, he's catching Allen and keeping it tight. Got a
Yeah, Luke, like I was saying before, just kind of being able to. I said, like I was saying before, I was like, he's gonna finish mid-pack, and right now he's P5, which is 2 positions away from the podium, and he's having a way better time in this race than he was in the wet. Right now, battling for P4 with our beloved Nate Allen. And speaking of Nate Allen, I remember a couple turns before, he got passed by Fari Henry, which has now made his way from P5 to P3 in just a couple laps. So that pace difference really allowing him to gain those couple positions back after his horrible incident a couple laps back.
Interesting enough, we actually have a battle going on with Soik and Gaskin now. His teammate. Allen's teammate here.
Yeah, it looks like Gaskin was just able to pinch that out, taking the inside through that hairpin there.
Yeah. As you
And
We saw May in the background there have a little bit of a off-track incident there.
A little bit of a dirt rally type thing going on.
Yes.
Man, I could play some dirt rally right now.
Looking
Love
at the
that game.
map, it has split into two very distinct packs here. Well, almost three. You got these guys, let's see, starting from 6th, going all the way down to 12th in their own little fight here. And I believe 3, 4, and 5 are having a fight, and 1st and 2nd are just trying to see if they can stay consistent.
Yeah, I definitely see what we're talking about with the multiple packs there.
Yeah.
It looks like Luke is opting to go to serve his pit lane here. I'm not sure if he had some damage or is just opting to go for it early. But usually the strategy is trying to take that as late as possible, just so that your temps and your tires, you know, are just able to you're able to go as long as you can on that without cooling them down. But he opts to go right now, which probably means he has some damage from some earlier stuff.
Could also just want, you know, clean air. I know he was in a fight, so could opt for that clean air.
Yep. Let's take a look at McAllister looking up the rear end of Gatskin right here, trying to look for that pass after losing the position to him the lap or two before. And then Gatskin right in front of him is right
He is
behind
really
Jay
reeling
Smith. And is going to get the pass done on Smith here. Now putting him firmly in the 5.
McAllister's coming. He's gaining on Smith by just a hair.
Oh, that is very, very close.
Yes, indeed.
Oh
no! Oh no!
Carried a little bit too much speed into that corner and bumps Smith off the racing line right there, causing Smith to go down 2 positions. It's unfortunate right there. It looks like Soik just takes advantage and gains up to P6 from that little incident there in just a matter of seconds.
I wonder if McAllister is trying to wait for him a little bit, maybe to, if there is a penalty that comes out, to try to lessen it, or now he's just kind of saying,
I think he's just taking his losses in racing. He's like, oh shoot, made an error, but I think it's gonna hurt me more if I wait for this guy. But we'll see here. He still has some time to give the position back. But keep in mind that's another Dan McAllister is in between them, so he would be giving up 2 positions for maybe a decrease in just the time penalty, not even the penalty points. So we'll see if he opts to do that. I don't think he will, though. Oh, going really, really wide there. Smith opts to just give up that position to Rosa. I think his damage right now is just not... Oh, shoot!
but he's
Taking
fighting
the
back
inside
with
a
it.
little bit. Just nosing his way in there. Not enough speed to gain the position, though. I think he has a little bit of damage and is having some trouble controlling his car here.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot, his dive
What
up
a
the
send.
inside.
Oh!
Thank God there wasn't an incident there. He really wants that position back and is now driving kind of recklessly to get that.
He will do
Almost.
anything just to get P1.
I need
Anything.
it. I need it.
Yup.
Yeah.
It's like that
Almost.
SpongeBob beef where he's like, I don't need it. I don't
Exactly.
need it. I need it.
I need it.
Yeah, it's one of those moments though. If you had your crew chief just going, hey, keep your head down, let's focus up, and
Yeah.
try again. You don't want to make an error that's going to end your race this early on.
Yo, car on your right, car on your right. Don't do anything. Don't do anything I wouldn't approve of.
If you've played the F1 games, no heroics in the Sandoval, please.
Oh, yeah, please no. Well, let's take a look on track here again. We're going to see May and Rosa now fighting. May just looking up the side. I think they're teammates, though. Is that right? They're both in the AMG.
Let's see. Rosa and Bootsma are teammates, so it does not look like Bootsma is here, so they just happen to be in the same car.
So they happen to be in the same car, so they're not teammates, but they're fighting for that P8 position right now. And everybody else is pretty spread out here. Anything could happen. And just as I say that, Soik opts to launch himself into the wall, giving up a position to McAllister. With some front end damage there for sure.
Let's take a look back at that one. Just went a little wide on turn 1 on that exit. It's not a wide exit. You have just a little bit of space on with that rumble strip there, and some AstroTurf or painted tarmac right behind it, and immediately it's grass.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just unfortunate the commentators curse sometimes. Yeah, too, that driving and then the grass, like you were saying earlier, Austin, the grass on this track is not very forgiving like on some others. It will throw you, bounce you, do whatever it wants, and leave you with zero control over the car.
Quite a thin track too. I mean, you only have so much to go through before you can end up hitting the grass. So you got to be really careful, especially coming up to this turn. When Rosa is coming right behind Soik, it's a little bit.
Put the pressure
Soik
on.
goes
Soik
off.
ran wide.
And he's off. Now Rosa has Soik's position.
And May also took advantage of that as well and said, "Thank you very much. I'm gonna move up as well."
He'll gladly take that.
Yeah, I think Soik has maybe some damage, or right now his brakes may be a little bit hot. Because I think that was the second time this lap he's kind of overshot his braking point there.
Yeah,
And
he
it's
is
cost
going
him
to the
quite a
pits.
bit.
Going to the pits, yeah.
Smart move right there, repairing his damage. He's got at least 20 seconds on there, I think. So we'll kind of see if that's going to help him out in the race here. And that's the reason why we have this super long pit window, because if
May
drivers
lost
want to have that. Oh, no.
Kind of,
Yeah.
I think he took that turn a little too much and he just spun out.
That's
I believe that was
Trying to get back
turn
on track.
1.
doing a good job joining parallel to the racing line there, not impeding other drivers. Let's take
I
a
know
look at
the
who's-
steward in you loves to see that one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love to see it when people employ safe driving maneuvers on track.
Yes.
You know, you can make cool overtakes and you can drive fast all day, but if you're not clean, you're not racing.
Exactly. Always got to be clean racing, or else it's not really a show.
That's right. That's right. And Kelby, which is now our leader here, or no, was Kelby our leader?
Kelby is, yes, because
Yeah.
Henry had the moment and Kelby.
Oh yeah, that's right. And Kelby was able to take that. Well, they had a little bit of a moment here that closed their gap for about 5 seconds. 2.5 seconds from Castro, which is our other driver that I was mentioning would be a contender for P1 here. It's now about 2 seconds behind Kelby here and is looking to close that gap and make a move. Who do you think is the stronger driver between the two of them?
We haven't seen much of Castro. I believe this is his second race with us. The first one was with Wet Masano. He didn't show off some very impressive moves. I think it was for P4 he came back on the last lap, last corner even, to take P4 from Papadopoulos. So he has shown that he is quick and can make the maneuver. But Castro, I think Castro here has also shown that he's a very good driver. So I think they're evenly matched, but I'll have to give it more to Castro here. I mean, Kelby. Oh. My gosh.
They both start with C. It's easy to confuse them.
I know, and I'm currently on board with Castro, so brain was
That's why
CC
I was like,
connect dots.
I'm pretty sure he said Castro twice, but I
Yes.
don't want to... I think we understood what you were saying. And I will point out, too, that Kelby has, as far as best lap goes, has a 51, whereas Castro has a 51.9. So the best pace here is definitely on Kelby as far as for fastest lap. But like I said before, consistency is key. And right now, Castro, I don't think has had any yellow flag moments where I think Calvi's had a couple. So if you can keep it on the track for the whole race, you're going to end up ahead of people that maybe have a slightly higher pace, but make a couple errors and have yellow flag moments.
Definitely
Calvi's
agree.
extending his gap from Castro, so he's got a pretty good consistency rhythm going on there.
Yeah, it does look like that pace is definitely helping him out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning towards Calvi, as well, as far as being able to keep that gap. The only thing that might throw a wrench in things is Henry, but he's 10 seconds to P2. So I think right now is Calvi has it in the bag as long as they don't make any major errors.
And that's the key there, is not making any major errors.
Exactly.
Yeah, always consistent. If you're consistent, you're pretty well good to go.
Yep.
This is definitely one of those tracks that will chew you up and spit you right back out if you make a mistake.
Yeah.
A small mistake can turn into a major one real quick.
Especially in Sector 3, that's where you really got to ease up on the brakes and just be careful, not risk anything. As Calvi comes into this turn, whichever turn it is, because my knowledge of this track is
8 and 9.
8 and 9, yeah. That is one of the worst turns at Snetterton, which I find is just brutal.
Yeah, that heavy braking zone in the midst of that sweeping left-hander is it's hard to brake there and get it perfect without spinning your car. Depending on your ABS settings and whatnot, kind of getting that down, because usually you want to brake in a straight line, but the braking zone is on a curve.
Yeah.
So trying to do that correctly is really difficult. So you're very correct in that being a really, really difficult sector. Sector 3 just being a tough sector to nail perfectly.
Yeah, it's a lot of trail braking, which is a little bit more of an advanced technique as you kind of grow into your racing time. It's just being able to bleed off the brake while carrying momentum. But if you want to learn it, Snetterton is one of the tracks to really learn it on.
Yeah, and speaking of Snetterton, while we're having a little bit of a downtime here, do you want to kind of go through some of those names of the corners, since you got them all on the list there?
Yeah, as we see Calvi going a little wide there on turn 5.
Yeah, he had a little off-track moment, but he's back right on track. No pun intended.
Yeah, I know that we kind of left off with turns 8 and 9. 8 being Brundle, after Martin Brundle, the F1 driver who's now commentator. Does a lot better job than me. So that's why he gets paid and does F1, and I'm here with SRA right now.
Don't diss SRA.
I'm not dissing SRA. We are good.
We have a very deep commentator fund that we use to send all of our stewards and commentators on weekly cruises. And if you doubt me, just ask Doug. All right.
Doug has not told me about this, so this is news to me. Glad I'm learning about it now. Doug, I demand an explanation after this race. Then we get to turn 10, also known as Bomb Hole. Like I said, that is the commentator-friendly version of the name. Turn 11 is Coram. Back in 1953, he was one of the people that helped buy the land from Riches. That's great too, because Riches was a churchgoer, so he had the stipulation of, you guys can't race on Sunday from this time to this time. I forget the times, because he would host church around this area as well. So, good little tidbit of history there. And then Murray's corner, which is turn 12. That is one of the famous British commentators that did commentate a lot of races on this very track. I'll pause this as we are looking at a battle between May and Smith. May has closed this gap up and tried to send it into turn 12, and then kept on it in the center straight, trying to go into turn 1 here. Looks like he might actually get the move done.
Oh, but
Oh.
Smith defends right then and there. Couldn't do it.
Looked like he stayed a little too much to the right side of the track and cut the angle down that first turn for him. If he just needs to, it's one of those things too. You got to learn to trust the other driver and kind of push them as close to track limits as you possibly can.
Yeah, I think May is going to be able to make the move. Oh, that was a
Oh,
little bit
he
of
went
an
a
early
little.
break there.
Yeah.
Oh, but oh
That's
wow.
Smith also had.
Oh,
a little,
no.
Oh
Oh,
no.
no.
Just a little bit.
Oh, just like
throttled there.
constant issues.
TC just not helping her at all.
It's one of those things of just got caught off guard with the card in front braking where they did, and maybe overbroke themselves, and then got caught off guard again when they caught back up.
Yeah, that was just a really weird
Yeah,
turn
that was
from
interesting.
Smith there. It's a very interesting turn. Like they broke early, and then they like accelerated mid corner, and they broke at like the racing line. I don't know. It was very interesting. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
But let's see if they can, if May can close this gap back up and continue to put pressure on Smith. We'll keep a close eye on that one. Another fight that is looking like it could pop up is Soik closing in on Luke here. It's not incredibly close, but it's going to be closing up here if somebody takes a corner a little too hot or a little too slow.
Yeah, they're just within a second about, which respectable distance, but looking at the pace here, as far as best lap, Luke does have a better lap by about a couple tenths, which, doesn't mean too much. Anything can happen. And as far as the last lap goes, Soik actually has about 2 seconds better than Luke. So I'm not sure either consistency or pace is going to win out. And it looks like Soik was able to, looks like Luke is actually going to pit
Yeah,
for the second time this race. Just repairing some damage, I guess, which honestly, I think you should just live with the damage, man. You're going to spend a lot of time in the pits here. But he's opting to go for the pit strategy.
It all depends on where the damage was and what it is. Because if it is suspension damage, that's a tough call.
I don't think it was, though. His steering didn't look like it was messed up. But I guess I don't know for sure, and I guess we may find out after the race there what type of damage that was.
Oh,
it looks
as
like
we've
he
been
was
talking
doing
about
okay
this,
as far as driving goes.
May and Smith are back at it again on the Bentley straight here. Looks like Smith is just going to concede here and tuck back into the behind May and follow him and try to get past him again.
Yeah, I think he realized that he almost caused a little bit of an incident earlier, and it's going to be a little bit slide, but catches it, and just opts to let May by.
Going through, looking at the pits, the bottom 9 here, from 9 to 12, have at least all made their pit. Gaskin's actually, as you see here, pulling out of the pits for his pit stop. But Smith, May, McAllister, Allen, Henry, Castro, and Calvi all have not pitted so far. And we're halfway through this race.
Yeah, so Gaskin's in a good spot right now, coming out of the pits. Already in the pits here. I think after he does that, after other drivers pit, he'll jump up at least a couple positions there. But yeah, keep in mind that the pit window still has 20 minutes for drivers to pit. So that's plenty of time right there.
Yeah. And I know we've been talking about the pit. Jerry, do you want to tell Selena what dog it tells us week in and week out?
That we're beautiful and he loves us?
Well,
oh, no, about the pit. Okay,
yes.
Sorry. Practice your pit execution. If you can do that, you're going to gain a lot of, because you think about it,
Yeah,
like if you enter, like you can save like a second. You know what I mean? And then like being able to pull up to that box, you know, brake correctly, so you're like in the box. So like the time it takes to put you up on the little thingy-majigs is lessened, and then shutting off that engine and getting started, getting going again. You gain, you know, a couple positions if you're within seconds of each other from other drivers who maybe are not as experienced as that. So doing that strategy and kind of practicing that, a lot of people just drive around and they're like, okay, I got my setup good, I've done a couple laps, I'm good, you know. But if you practice that pit lane entry and that pit lane, you know, execution, you can gain multiple positions on your fellow drivers and leave them wondering why they lost.
Yep. It's not all about setups. It's also pit entry and just executing whatever you can in the pits and getting out.
Yeah.
Precisely.
Yep. You're exactly right.
If you pay attention to the Discord, don't do what I did, where I closed the pit lane for a hot second.
Yes,
that's battle
my
between
goal, to
Smith
close
and
the pit
Gaskin
lane right
here.
there.
Yeah. Smith and Gaskin keeping it nice and close. We might have missed it. Gaskin did lose the position to Smith, so these guys have been lapping with each other and just kind of.
Well, I think Gaskin came out of the pit lane behind Smith. And
did he?
Yeah, Gaskin has a good bit of pace ahead of Smith there.
Oh, Smith went really wide
there. He does not like that corner. He does not like that corner at all. I think every single time, like the last 3 laps we've spectated them, they've botched up that corner in one way or another. And Gaskin's just going to fly on by there and look to battle the next car ahead there.
Yeah, right now, Soik is trying to get to Rosa, but it looks like there is a blue flag car in the way, so he is probably saying, hey...
Oh, shoot.
No, he is right.
Rosa's gonna... Whoa.
They just...
Rosa's gonna invite him in.
Right on the racing line there. A little bit of an unsafe rejoin there.
Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
Oh. Let's take it back.
One of those heart attack moments for a second.
I did not go back far enough. It's unfortunate. Did not get to see it.
Well, for anybody who didn't see it, pretty much what happened is Rosa was off track a little bit and was going to come back on, but came back on right on the racing line, pretty much on the apex. And Soik was just able to narrowly avoid causing a collision there. So just a little bit tough on the rejoin there. And it looks like Smith is opting to go off the track. Oh, never mind. He's
just going into the pits.
Yeah. He decided his car is too damaged. I've blown through too many hairpins. I need some repairs.
Maybe some new tires, too, if he is got a little bit of some bald spots going on with those tires.
Perhaps. I mean, if you do take tires, though, it's an extra 30 seconds. That's easily going to put you back multiple positions here. Yeah, and right now we're going to take a look at Smith, who's still in the pit lane.
Yeah,
or no, not Smith. Sorry, Luke, who's out of the pit lane now. Who was in the pit lane, decided to pit twice. Who's now in last place effectively, but Latrice, or sorry, the last rise, is, I think they connected or something. But I think after this is done, I don't think Luke will be ahead of Smith, though. I don't think so.
Quickly interrupt you here. Gonna go back here for May's pass on McAllister going into, I think this is turn 6 into turn 7.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Stuck it around the outside and decided to stay on the power and get the job done.
Yeah. Well, good move. Yeah, we're seeing everybody pretty spread out now. I feel like the gaps on the podium are just not going to budge at this point. I'm pretty sure they've been pretty consistent for the last couple laps at least.
I agree. I think they are, as long as there's no incidents that causes them to go off track, like we've kind of discussed, a small mistake can turn into a big one. But if they keep it clean and consistent, I think these three are going to stay where they are.
Yep. All right, we're going to see Smith now out and about, going through, just finishing up Sector 1 here. Now out of the pit lane, and it's not in last there, but having to pit right there and repair some damage. I think that was his first pit, actually. So I don't think he pit yet, so I think he just did his leader there, or maybe some damage.
McAllister and Gaskin having a good fight here. McAllister had a little bit of a moment on turn 4.
Gaskin went right off.
Oh.
No.
Oh, no. Unfortunate.
Man, those tires must be cooked right now.
Oh, yeah.
They definitely are. Selena, what is our favorite thing to say here?
Yeah, hate to see it.
There it is.
Hate to see it.
Yep.
Looks like Nate Allen is
Nate
decided
Allen.
to
Yeah, he's in the
pull
pits now.
Yeah, it looks like not many of the drivers within the first 6 or whatever have pitted yet. That includes McAllister, May, Henry, Castalvi are all still out. And that is the strategy to do. Just stay out as long as you can and just pit as late as possible, just so you have that heat in your tires for as long as you can.
And so far, Allen has the pit award for fastest time stopped so far at 7 seconds. So he's trying to take Doug's advice and get better at those pit lane executions.
7 seconds is pretty good. I think the least you can get is 4. Because refueling itself takes, I think it's like 1 liter is just 3.2 seconds. But then of course I think you have like a couple tenths stop just for, you know, putting off and on the
as we
the
go
ignition
here,
and whatnot. So
May actually had a moment from turn 3. Just looked like maybe he got on the power a little too early and went wide and took a sign with him.
taking out the braking markers right there is a valid strategy to confuse your opponents.
Yeah.
I think yesterday in Selena and I's race, when a silver driver finished up their qualifying, they took out the brake marker for turn 1, so it was kind of guessing at that point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when you have to like plan B right into the non-existent braking zone.
Yep. We're going to take a look at the
main
main straight here, and Gaskin makes the move on McAllister. On that straight that I was talking about, where you really need to perfect that exit because that straight is so long, just a little bit of better perfection of your execution of that corner, and you're going to gain a position because of that straight just giving you so much time to make that pass.
And if you tuck into the slipstream of the car ahead of you, you will get a little bit of extra speed that way as well. So
yeah, get that draft.
maximizing
yeah.
that.
Looks like Nate Allen is now in the pit lane, doing his 1 liter mandatory right there.
Is that the second time he's been in the pits? Yes, it is. It's the second time he's gone in the pits.
So maybe he's already done it there.
So I don't know why he's back in.
Well, he stopped for 6 seconds.
Just trying to improve his time stopped count, I guess.
Yep. McAllister got an 8-second time stopped right there. Pretty good, pretty good.
Looking through the race, just kind of seeing through. Selena, you want to give us a little bit of a recap of what's happened so far in this first, let's see, math is hard, around 40 minutes?
Well, we've had a couple of incidents. Well, it's been a decently clean race, but not sure what lap it was on, but one of the weirdest highlights was it was Smith, and I believe it was May, having that weird little almost contact in the whatever turn it was in sector, I believe it was sector 2. It's like weird. little spiel going on there, but it's one of the highlights. Pretty well, but brain fog.
I definitely get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did put it pretty well.
Oh, no.
Join on board of McAllister. Let's
Oh,
see
no.
what happened here.
Did we have an incident? Oh,
a little bit of a spinny majig.
Little bit of a spin by
What was that?
McAllister.
Yep, turn 6, and almost parks it on the racing line. Thankfully, does not.
Good job doing the brakes there and not colliding with any of those other cars that passed in there.
Oh, looks like May is also into the pits now. So that just leaves the top 3 that have not pitted so far.
Yeah, Calvi still has not pitted. Yep. Castro, Henry, yep. Still got a few.
They still have 6 minutes to do it, so I think they are going to be just fine, and they're playing the strategy out as we see.
They're just going to
right
wait
there.
till the very, very last minute there.
Yeah.
Oh, Luke.
Oh, no.
Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no!
Oh,
Oh,
no.
no.
And May has a stop and go as well. Oh.
They got to hop and go?
Yeah.
Probably for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, I think so. Because as soon as it came out, stop and go 30 they had.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Luke,
Oh.
unsafe rejoin, drives onto the
yeah.
racing line. Takes out another driver. That's
Oh.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
Luke, come on, my man.
You
Come
gotta
on.
hold your brakes.
You gotta be wary about
safe
that.
rejoin.
You
Yeah.
bet he's face palming right now, being like, "Come on, damn it, I didn't mean to do that." So,
It's one
but
of
yeah,
those
just
new moments.
live and learn. You just
Yeah.
learn from your mistake, man.
Yeah.
Always
now-
next
we're
time
gonna
to
see
make it
Rosa
right.
taking the position for May there as May misses the braking zone and kind of goes deep.
Well, he does have quite a bit of damage on that car.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah,
bonnet
I do see
is
that.
not
It's-
attached.
And he went wide there too.
He is struggling with this damaged car. I wonder if there's...
Oh, that hood. I can see
Oh,
like the
yeah, the
engine from
paint.
the helicopter view. Oh no.
Oh boy, there we go.
Oh.
Oh. Let's get
Doesn't-
a good view of that right there. Oh wow. Oh.
He-
Oh no.
Oh, brutal.
Oh, that's such
He is
a good
having a
view. Give me
tough
that-
time
Give me
keeping
that
this
damage
straight.
view right there.
So I think he might have some suspension damage too, because just looking at inside the car, he is having a tough
Yeah.
time keeping this car straight.
Yeah, it looks like he has to like almost turn his wheel to keep it straight. You're definitely right about that. And
Yeah,
he's
he
already
used to
pit,
wide.
so I'm thinking he's just like, there's 14 minutes. Maybe he'll just like drive it out,
We'll see here.
We'll
No,
kinda
he's
see how that
coming
works
in.
out for him.
He is
Oh, he's
coming
going
in.
into the pits. He's like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
on top
speeding
of
in the pit
that-
lane right there.
Was
That
it?
is a speed in the pit lane.
Oh.
I guess
That's
we'll
gonna
see.
be
it
added
was
to
like
stop and go.
Yeah, it was like 67 kilometers an hour right there as he crossed that line.
Yeah, and it's what,
Um,
50? 50
So
on
yeah,
the
they're
track?
gonna get a penalty along with May, and I think May right now is serving their penalty right now.
That is unfortunate, and takes a day that was bad to worse.
Oh yeah, I hate to see it.
Yeah, hate to see
I was
it.
really hoping that May would be able to make a comeback here, but there's still possible. There's 13 minutes left. I think they could maybe make it to I'm not sure. I mean, they're going to need a lot of pace here, but getting that body repaired is definitely going to help them out, gain on the advantage on Smith, who's currently in 9, but is quite a bit of time ahead.
Yeah, you got 13 minutes to make up roughly 30 seconds on track.
Oh, but I forgot about the stop-go 30 that May just earned for speeding in the pit lane.
Looks like our leader's in the pit, by the way.
Leader is now pissed. All right, this is gonna be really where it comes to here is the pit execution of our top 3, because right now they're within seconds of each other, but If they can execute the
All-
pit better, they're
all
going to
three
gain
pit
a lot
same
of time.
time.
Yeah, all three have now pit.
Oh,
Calvi
all or
Which one is
nothing
going to come out
stops.
first here? Calvi has some damage they need to replace here, and they're stopped for about 20 seconds now.
I'm gonna stay on board.
All
with
of them
this
stopped in
fight.
the pit lane, just trying to get their
There he goes.
damage repaired. Castro's out.
oh, Castro's
first here.
right out.
Castro
They got
and
that
Followed by
Henry.
Henry. Yeah, Castro is going to take the
Calvi's-
lead now.
Oh. Now he's coming out. He's a little bit behind now.
Yeah.
Stopped for 40 seconds. Did he take tires by accident?
Maybe he had some damage. Maybe he did take tires. That would be a tire thing right there. I mean, I don't think he had
Yeah,
that
that
much
took
damage.
longer.
Yeah, because Henry and Castro both stopped for 12 and 13 seconds respectively.
Yeah. That sounds like a little bit of damage plus 1 liter of fuel, but it looks like Helvey did something. I think they took tires, but that's going to put him in P3. Where he was in P1, and like you said before, like we were saying before, with that pit lane execution, it's kind of mixed up the podium a little bit.
And it's also brought the fight a lot closer as well, so maybe we'll see last lap heroics like we did last week.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit closer, but still, that's a 5-second gap between P1 and P2, and then P2 and P3 is about the same amount of gap. So we might see something, but I doubt it. I think that Castro is going to be able to hold this here with the consistency that they were holding of that podium for the entire race. I think Castro has a shot at winning this here, unless he makes a huge error.
Yeah, and I believe if he keeps it, it would be his first race win of the season for him. Like I said, I think he's new. He's not. Feel free to yell at me in the D6 chat.
No, he
it's
is
all good.
new.
Okay.
I think his Misano was his first race, and he was leading in Misano as well, but had 2 penalties for speeding in the pit lane and was only able to come in 5th that race when he was first for a while there on Misano.
Hopefully he can keep that up, because that'll be a good showing for him.
Yeah, for sure. All right, the pit window is now closed. Good thing everybody has pit so far, except for the last Rise, who went in the pit lane very early, was not able to. I think they went AFK. Has been disqualified. But everybody else has served their pit lane requirements, which is good.
Just looking at the last lap, looks like Henry did put in almost a second faster from Castro. So
Okay.
he is a man on a mission right now, trying to catch first place, trying to get back-to-back wins here.
Yeah, Henry is definitely looking forward, but just looking at that gap, it's just been hovering around 5 seconds, 4 seconds for a while now. So I'm really thinking that Castro has it in the bag here, but Henry is a really good driver, as we've seen before. It just all comes down to consistency in these last 10 minutes here.
I agree that Henry's also been very consistent throughout the season. I think first 2 races he was in is P10, P10, and then last week was P1. So he is slowly improving and keeping it clean.
Yeah, improving their time.
He's got potential, yep.
Yeah, but I mean, right now with that advantage and just the consistency, as we see Luke have a little bit of a moment there in the back of the pack, I think
turn
right
one
now,
again?
I think Castro has it in the bag, but he needs to not sweat. He needs to just focus on the track and drive the best he can. Because if he does make an error, you bet Henry is going to capitalize on that.
I think you're right, actually. Looking at last laps now, Castro has the advantage, but it could have been blue flags that got in the way that may have tilted the balances of the time
Yeah,
scale.
McAllister was right in between the two. So now Fari has to catch up, all from that blue flag moment.
Unfortunate, losing like about a second there, I think, because now it's hovering around the 6 second mark for that gap.
Yeah. It's a little far back now.
But yeah, like you said, don't sweat too much. Just try to keep it on track and take a little bit out of the time as you can.
Yep, and it looks like May is now pit for the 4th time this race. I guess they're just doing some setup changes, or I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. But their car is not performing the way they wanted to.
Yeah. The only thing setup-wise that you can really do is change your brake pads and tires, so...
Yeah.
He's struggling with pressures and decided, you know, let's try to tweak the pressures of the new tires, but with 7 minutes left, bold call, Cotton.
Yeah.
Where is Smith here?
I think he just went off just a little bit there.
Yeah. Yep. Turn 6 and turn 4 have not been kind to him today.
Yeah, but honestly,
Yeah,
if you're
brutal.
Smith, you're ahead of the guy behind you by over a minute. So unless you're looking to go and attack McAllister, which is about 20 seconds ahead of you, I think right now you're just finishing out your laps in a peaceful manner.
Yeah. Keep it clean for these last 6 minutes and take home some solid points.
Yep. And I think, I'm not sure, but okay, May is now coming out of the pits here.
Yeah. He was stopped for
After
a
being
minute
stopped
30.
for a very long time. And Luke is now in the pit lane.
He
repairing
had
some of
quite a
that
bit of
damage he got.
damage. Yeah, he had a
Yep.
very bad front end.
Yep.
Well, as May exits the pits, almost takes out Smith there.
Oh, they're both going right there. May is just not
Oh,
having a
yeah.
good time.
Yeah, he's had quite a tough race today, by the looks of it.
Yep.
Probably not a happy camper at the end of it.
Just probably thinking, can this be over? Can this be
Yeah.
over? Can this
Yeah.
be over?
Let this be over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Snetterton's very unforgiving, that's for sure. Especially when it comes to the grass.
Yep. And it looks like Luke is now opting to pit another time.
Oh boy.
He's now
Oh,
pit
wow.
3 times. He has to pit another time to be able to beat the record of May, or sorry, match the record of May. And honestly, I do want to call this out. Nate Allen has pit twice and is still P5, so if he didn't have that second pit, he could honestly be P3 right now. Or maybe probably P4, but I think P3 is a little bit optimistic, but he could have been higher up if he didn't have to pit that second time.
Yeah.
And
Ari's
looking at that-
pitching right up to Castro.
Yeah,
Like about
I was
3
gonna call that
seconds
out,
behind now. Yeah.
yeah. He's closed that gap considerably. There is 4 minutes left of the race, so that's at least a couple laps, but still a 3-second gap. And it doesn't seem to be closing any more right now. Just as I say that, though, they've closed it down to 2.5 seconds. Let's take a look at Castro here. Trying to drive consistently as they can. Those tires are definitely worn down at this point.
And pressure is on for Castro.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna let you guys keep an eye on this battle. I'm gonna quickly go through some of the sponsors that we've had here. As you see on the screen, Retro Saga. They're one of the newer ones. They sell retro games. You know, good catalog of games that they had. I think Jerry, you've looked at them before too.
Yeah, briefly. I mean, I always liked retro stuff. I used to own I forgot what it was, but it was this little thing. It came with 6 games, like Pac-Man and the old I forgot the name of it. It's that little shooty one with the aliens and shit. Dig Dug, all that stuff. So I mean, that's just some good fun. And if you ever want to go down your nostalgia lane a little bit, definitely check them out.
Yep. Armin and Tar. I'm struggling with words.
Armentario.
Armentario?
There we go.
I think it's
Selena's on
Armentario,
it.
yeah.
There we go. Selena saving both me and Jerry. Very good software changes the HUD a little bit, gives you a little bit more information. They've been a long-time sponsor. Just came across the screen, Documize, for all of your documentary storing needs. Also new with Retro Saga, so League's been growing, and we've been growing our sponsors as well. So it's good to see.
Yep, and it looks like Soik passed Alan. The teammates back at it again here.
Oh,
It looks like Alan had a little bit of an off-road moment there, and Soik was able to just kind of capitalize on that. Now the two teammates are battling it out yet again.
We've waited 58 minutes for this moment right here.
58 minutes for the teammates to come head-to-head. And looking back at the leader now, we're going to see that gap is closed yet again. Oh no.
What happened here?
Oh
Let's
no.
go back here.
Oh.
Because I see May and Luke both had yellow flags. I don't know if it was just they spun different times.
Yeah, it looks like they spun different times. It looks like May hit that bump on the turn 1 curving and just couldn't control the car there. And I think Luke just spun it at a different point in the track.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Well, if you did not catch that, the crew chief did say the leader has started their final lap, which I think is wrong, considering looking at the map. Once he crosses the line, he'll be on his lap slot.
I think it's right.
He's coming across the start-finish line.
Yeah.
No. Or wait, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I think Fari Henry just went off track for a second.
Yeah, I think he was trying to avoid a blue
mistaken.
flag car and lost a little bit of time there.
Now we can officially say we're on the last lap.
Yeah, that was a little bit weird there. Crew chief kind of lying to us.
Yeah.
Never trust the crew
early.
chief.
That is what I've learned. He'll tell you all clear when there's a car.
Yeah, all clear when there's 3 wide next to you. Yeah, 20 seconds left in the race here. Yep. So this is going to be the final lap as our leader kind of makes his way going into sector 2 right about now. And right now that gap is went from 2 seconds to about 3 seconds between Henry and Castro here, and I don't think he's going to be able to close that. Castro right now just has to, dry his palms a little bit, make sure his grip is steady on the wheel, and just make sure he doesn't make any major errors, and I think he has this one in the bag.
That'll be a good maiden win for him.
Yep.
Well, I'm on board here with Soik and Allen still battling it out. Looks like they will have this whole next lap to also battle out, so keeping us entertained.
Yeah, it looks like Allen had a better exit onto the main straight here. Both of them within a couple tenths. See how they handle this turn 1 sweeping right-hander.
Looks like Allen decided to brake a little earlier, just trying to anticipate that accordion effect that we normally see a little bit.
It looks like it lost a little bit of time. I think Allen had a little bit of a worse performance on that turn 1. Now it's up to about a second gap between them. Allen's going to have to pull something out of his butt to be able to close that gap, or Soik is going to have to make a large error here.
Yeah, and that 1 second gap looks like it's been growing a little bit. Allen seems like he's
Leader has now
pushing a little
finished
bit.
the race.
Castro has won that
first.
in the bag.
Henry in P2, Calvi finishing
Calvi
P3. Rosa is finished in P7, about a lap behind there. That's your podium right there. And honestly, I want to pull in Castro, Henry, and Calvi because I know Calvi was leading there for a while there. I just kind of want to ask how he feels about if he took tires or not.
Going off track on that
That's
final
what
lap.
I was wanting to ask him about too, because having a 40-second pit is detrimental to a race.
Oh yeah,
Oh
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah.
So let's take a look here. A lot of people finishing up here. The only battle going on right now is Soik and Allen. About a half a second, and Allen is really trying to push here, but goes a little bit off, and instead of closing the gap, widens it a little bit, and I think that's going to steer his position into P5.
No, he's pushing a little too hard, but that's what can get you in trouble sometimes too if you push a little too hard.
Yeah, for sure. It looks like they're going to go in that main straight here and finish up with Soik in front of Allen there. And that is going to finish it up, ladies and gentlemen. The race is going to end here in just a second as both of them cross the finish line. And there we go. Castro in first, and Henry in second, and then I think, sorry, Calvi already left, but he was P3.
Yeah.
So let's see who's all here, and see if we can pull anybody up.
I will leave you to pulling them up.
Okay.
Right now.
So we're, who do you want to do first?
Let's do Castro since it's his first race win.
Wait, who won? Oh, Castro?
Yes.
Yeah, Castro.
I don't see Castro anywhere.
Then Henry would be our P2.
Barry Henry? Okay.
Yes.
Alright. Alright, what commentators are we in? Are we in commentators Twitch?
Extra.
Extra? Okay. Hello, Fari. You were being pulled into the commentators booth.
Oh,
Oh.
Bye.
he left. Oh,
Hello, Fari.
Well,
Hi, you're being interviewed for your performance, P2 tonight. How do you feel after that race?
I'm not happy.
Not happy. Why is that?
I was leading for the first few laps, and then I spun on the big curve in T1, and then it was damage control from there. I could have driven better. I spun a bunch.
It was a good job though with damage control. Still P2, it's a very good result, and I know you're going to take some good points home for both yourself and your team tonight.
Yes, sir. Very focused
that's
on that
podium.
team standing.
Yeah, so that's
Good
always good to have.
job, Fari. It's unfortunate you had that spin there, but your pace was very, very consistent for the most part. And it was just unfortunate that you weren't able to take P1 there, but good race overall, and thanks for joining us. I'll let you go back to your team chat there. But thank you for coming in and having that short little interview with us. All right. Who was the guy that was in P3?
Calvi, yeah.
Calvi? Okay, would we...
I'm looking, I don't see him. So,
Oh, Anthony
I see
Calvi's
him.
in Badmans.
There
Oh,
we go.
they currently left. They just left as I was about to pull them up.
They are in race review
he's in
3.
race review 3. Okay.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah.
All right, I will pull him up here. And we're in commentators extra. All right, Kelvy, are you there? You're in the commentators booth. We're doing an interview real quick.
Yeah, what's poppin'?
So, how do you feel about that race? What happened in the pit stop there? Did you end up accidentally taking tires?
Accidentally took tires, and on top of that, when I left
Oh.
and when I left the pit stop, I got tied up with a back marker. Wasn't sure what to do, so I kind of backed off, and that burned a bunch of time there too. Or I could,
unfortunate.
Yeah, by the end of the race, I literally had the next 2-3 cars right in my hood view. So it's all good though. We'll get him the next one. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
your pace was super consistent, and yeah, you guys all three pit at the same time, and we were just watching. It was all up to the pit lane execution here, and I think you were the first to enter the pit lane. You were like, "What's going on? The other two are already off," and I was like, I think he accidentally took tires."
Yep. Yeah, I reached over to
that moment. I knew it was done.
I reached over to take care of all that business, and the minute I touched my mouse, it just kind of disappeared that whole screen, and I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I'm taking tires."
I guess it's locked in now. So,
Yeah.
well, that's unfortunate, but P3 still on the podium, so really, really good finish from you. But yeah, just the consistency of the top 3 drivers just made it impossible to after that making that little error there, just to gain back any positions. But very, very well, good race from you. And I'll let you go back to it, and I'll probably join you guys in the race review here in a second.
Awesome.
But yeah, thanks for coming in, Kelby.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having the whole event, man. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah, take it easy, man.
Yep.
All right, Austin. Well, I will let you finish it up from here. I'm going to go to the race review here for D6 and kind of lead that. But it was a pleasure commentating with you both tonight. Selena, first time, did really, really well.
Thank
Austin,
you.
it's always good to commentate with you like always. So I'll let you guys finish it up, but I will be signing off. So take it easy, guys.
All
Have a good
right,
one.
take it easy.
Yep.
All right, Selena, you want to give any of your parting thoughts to what happened today?
I'd say it was a really good race. It was a smaller race, only 12 people in, but it was pretty good. Some incidents here and there, but it was a good race. I'd say it was really good.
I do agree. It was a small crowd, but they
Yeah.
did provide a lot of entertainment for everyone to watch. So
Yeah, a couple of fights. It was good.
yeah, D6, like we said last week, keep on doing what you guys are doing. You're doing it well, and it's good to see you guys are improving as well. So it's always wonderful to see.
Yep.
Well, on that, we will see everyone for a Barcelona race after the new year. This has been Austin Whitescarver with Jerry Finkley and Selena Boustra.
Yes.
Ding by the dun, ding by the dun, ding by the dun, ding by the dun. Would you like an apple pie with that? Would you like an apple pie with that? I wicked, wicked king, making paper warmers, I was paper head.